Hello to all the wonderful humans on the internet. How are you guys doing? Today is the last day of my Navratri series. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So today's color is purple, as you guys can see. And today's topic is skincare buzzwords that you should avoid. I thought this would be a great way to end the series because these buzzwords and misinformation is rampant in this cosmetic industry. So let's start. So the first word that you should completely avoid is detoxify. It boils my blood when I read this on packaging and on websites because no, skincare ingredients cannot detoxify your body. I'll just tell you how your body detoxifies itself, okay? Every second of your living life, your body is doing the process of detoxification. So the first way your body detoxifies is by breathing in and breathing out air. Your lungs does a really good job of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. In this situation, carbon dioxide is the toxin. So your body is detoxifying by removing the carbon dioxide. Now the second way how your body detoxifies itself is by liver. Like there's a whole organ given and assigned to this job of detoxification. So what happens is blood enters your liver. Your liver literally filters out all the toxins, all the substances that are not required for the body, and it removes it. The next step is that something that we do every single day, that is urination and defecation. Your body literally throws out the substances that it does not need on a regular basis. So tell me guys, do you really think a face mask or a lemon DIY mask is going to work better than your lungs, liver and digestive system? No, right? So this word detoxification, it is crazy. Don't fall for that. Now, I've read so many articles where people say that when you purge, that product is actually removing the toxins from your body, and while the process of the removal, it gives you those pimples. Now, don't fall for that crap. It is bullshit. The next thing is something that I noticed on Dot & Key's packaging. It is written no nasty chemicals. Like what? What does that even mean? It is such a random phrase that is thrown out. No nasty chemicals. Like they have fragrance in the middle of the Enki list. In the middle. So are you trying to tell me that fragrance is not a nasty chemical? And not just Dot & Key. So many brands write this, no harmful chemicals. Like, what does it even mean? Like, please define harmful. Please define nasty. People say it's sulfate free, dyes free, triclosan free. These are more objective things that you know that, okay, this product does not have any SLS. So you can make a right decision to buy it or to not to buy. Also, I've seen that a brand actually wrote that it is chemical free. Now that has to be the funniest thing that I had read in quite a while, because what is H2O then? That's like the first ingredient in your ingredient list. H2O is a chemical. So no, nothing is chemical free. Everything is made up of chemicals. So don't fall for that crap, okay? Now the next is again something which is so incomplete in itself that there's no point of putting these phrases on packaging. The first is dermatologically tested. Now what does that even mean? I mean, it's like saying tested by NTA after you give your NEET. You can't just go to a college and say that I was tested by NTA. Naturally, they will ask, okay, so how many marks did you get in your NEET? But we don't ask these questions here. Dermatologically tested. Okay, what happened after that? What was the test? How much did the product score in the test? I mean, these things you can obviously write on your website if you don't want to put it on your packaging. Dermatologically tested means absolutely nothing. Second thing is clinically proven. Like what? What is clinically proven? So, the thing is that ingredients used in skincare products can be clinically proven. Like if you use 2% hyaluronic acid, it is clinically proven to give you hydration. But when you add hyaluronic acid with say water, and say you add niacinamide in it, and then you add fragrance, and then you add preservatives, it becomes a completely different formulation. So is the different formulation clinically proven? Is it? We don't know. Are the ingredients clinically proven, or is your product clinically proven? And again, clinically proven is such a vague term. I mean, clinically proven, does it mean that it is proven by research, or does it mean that it has anecdotal evidence? And I think it shouldn't sway your decision into buying the product, okay? Now, the next thing is natural and organic. And by now, we know that natural is not better than synthetic and not better than the skincare products that we get. But I would like to talk about natural and organic as a whole thing, because I've seen organic in so many skincare brands, and there is no evidence which tells us that yes, this is 100% organic. And when I say organic, I mean that the raw materials are grown in organic farming. And organic farming, it has strict regulations. You're not allowed to use any chemical fertilizers, you're not allowed to use any genetic modifications, you need a certification from the government. So they shouldn't use this word, as there's a certification that comes with this word, so you can't just loosely use it. These were the things that you should look for in brands. Now there are a few terms that you should filter out when listening to influencers, content creators, YouTubers, Instagrammers as well. Especially Instagram. The amount of false DIY claims that I've seen on Instagram, it is unreal. I mean, I'm shocked that many people are not sued, because it is truly damaging. Like, you can't just add lemon, honey, and yogurt and be like, yeah, this is going to cure your acne scars, your dark spots, your under eyes, and it's going to give you miraculous glowing skin. There is no miracle product. Also, I've seen this thing where people are like, use this DIY, it is better than the other products because lemon has vitamin C, honey is a humectant, and yogurt has lactic acid. Drives me crazy, because yogurt has 0.7 to 0.9% lactic acid, and the lactic acid that we use over the counter is 5 to 10%. So you really can't think that the yogurt that is sitting in your fridge is equal to the skincare lactic acid that we are getting in the market. So don't be fooled by this. You know the amount of yogurt you will have to put on your face to get the results that you would want from lactic acid. It is unreal. Dissect whatever people are saying, even what I say, because I do my own research, but I can be wrong, because science is evolving all the time. We should evolve, our thoughts should evolve with science, right? If you think that something that I'm saying that is wrong, you can always share your references, we can always talk about it, because I would love to grow, especially in this space, and I would love to grow with you guys. So that's it. It's been a roller coaster ride with these 9 days, because I did do everything by myself, right from researching to shooting to editing, and it is such a rewarding process, because you guys are the kindest and the most lovable bunch on YouTube. It has been unreal. Thank you so much for your support, and I don't know how should I convey my love to you guys, because it's just pouring in. I hope you get all the things that you want in life, and I hope you get all the love that you guys deserve. My 9 days of Navratri has ended, and I'm going to go back to my normal timetable on YouTube after a small break. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click the like button. So until next time, bye.